Good morning, everybody. We made it to Friday, and it is October 27th. I'm Anissa Mohdreza.
And I'm Alex Petrich. Thank you for joining us.
Today, we're starting with a story that happened on our very own campus.
That's right. Students on our area campus walked out of class on Wednesday. Cecilia, you were there. Tell us what happened.
Yes, Alex. Well, on October 25th, students walked out of class in solidarity with other universities and to show their support for Palestine.
We say, please, Palestine!
SDS, or Students for a Democratic Society, led the rally demanding an immediate end to U.S. aid to Israel and for campus universities to fully divest from weapon corporations that aid Israel as well. A member of SDS told us they want to show support for Palestinians.
We wanted to have a rally on campus so that the people know that you're not the only ones who care about what's happening in Palestine. We care about it too.
The protest began at the Miah House, a museum and Jewish student center, since its rededication in January 2022. Rabbi Yisrael Moshe of the Aruria Chabad was among the counter-demonstrators. He told us he's here in support of Jewish students.
That bewilderment, that lack of, okay, well, I support Palestine, but I'm against this treatment of children and of babies and all these things. Nobody can come out and say that, and that is something that makes Jewish students feel unsafe.
Counter-demonstrators tried to drown out the rally with music, in which pro-Palestinian students moved over to the Jordan Student Success Building to make their demands known and listened to various different speakers, including members of the Colorado Palestine Coalition.
One more thing. Don't forget that the enemy is not Jewish people. The enemy is Zionism.
As students headed back to the Miah House, things started to heat up with both sides engaging in heated arguments and shouting matches. We stopped to ask students their stance on the issue.
I feel like it's slowly making a difference by educating the people that aren't aware of what's actually going around. I feel like there's a lot of false propaganda out there, so by us protesting here today, we're spreading awareness on what's going on in Palestine.
It's break my heart. I've been here in the last couple hours. I actually have been speaking to one very nice gentleman. We've been speaking for about an hour, going back and forward, educating each other. That was my goal of the day. If I could speak at least to one person normally, educationally, I accomplished my thing. I really don't like that we have to go through all of that. It's not supporting nobody. It's not helping nobody. We just hope for a better future.
The tension escalated as more people joined the demonstration, with emotions running high on both sides.
From the river to the sea,
Palestine will be free!
The only thing I want to say, it's not Israelis against Palestinians. It's not Jewish against Muslim. We're all suffering from the Hamas organization.
I would just like to say we're not saying end to the other side. We are not saying destruction to Israel. We are simply fighting for human rights. No innocent life should be taken, whether it's Palestinian or Israeli. We're just here because the Palestinian people have been occupied since 1948. We're just asking for human rights.
There are more protests planned soon, and we will be sure to cover those.
The MetReport has received some backlash recently for our coverage.
To ensure accuracy and impartiality in our reporting, we follow the SPJ Code of Ethics and Standards.
We are dedicated to covering events and stories that inform and engage our audience with high-quality content, and will continue to do so. A fair organized between several of Colorado's most prestigious schools took place this past Wednesday at the Tivoli Turn Hall. The event had the goal of guiding MSU Denver students to know what path they want to take after finishing their undergraduate studies. The fair took place with the purpose of connecting students with all the resources available in the state for the completion of master's degrees or PhDs, as well as the highlighting that programs that MSU Denver has to offer depending on what students are looking for to continue with their bachelor's degree. Students could talk to representatives of other schools like CU Boulder or CSU to learn about graduate programs and follow their paths professionally towards success. The event helped promote what they call a graduate culture and give the students the advantage of getting started on the right foot after graduation.
The Auraria Native Indigenous Student Alliance, NISA, organized a special Halloween event at Tivoli 640, open to any students on campus to have an afternoon full of arts, crafts, and food as a way to learn more about everyone's respective cultures. Organizers sought to educate and empower all attendees about the modern issues facing the indigenous and native population. Then they started several group activities where the students demonstrated their personality and artistic skills by hand-carving pumpkins and creating Halloween portraits with the objective of promoting the space for themselves to understand who they want to be and represent themselves in a collective in which everyone can be united by sharing intercultural relationships.
Speaking of Halloween activities, Thursday saw a pumpkin painting event for scholars. A large group of students participated in painting little pumpkins and enjoyed snacks, candies, popcorn, and drinks provided at the event. The movie Hocus Pocus was played to get everyone into the Halloween spirit. It was an opportunity for students to distress, build community, and be creative. Paintings included all sorts of things, from classic jack-o'-lantern faces to unique designs. For more Halloween fun, drop by the Career Carnival at the Tivoli Turn Hall on Tuesday. It'll be full of fun things to do, like carnival games and a costume contest.
MSU Denver has received a generous donation that will take career readiness training for students to new heights. The Mortgage Family Foundation donated a total of $1.5 million to MSU's Classroom to Career Hub, or C2 Hub. This will help the construction of a 25,000 square foot space that will accommodate the thousands of MSU and CCD students who utilize its services. The goal of the program, stated by President Janine Davidson, is to connect students with employers, not at the end of their degree program, but from the moment they set foot on campus, considering that for some, making career connections after graduation could be difficult. In honor of this donation, the Peer Mentoring Program will be renamed to the Mortgage Peer Mentoring Program, and many more students will get the career readiness that they may need.
This past Wednesday, the organization Brother to Brother had an informational event and kickback. It took place in the CMEI Lounge in the Jordan Student Success Building. At the event, there are many students who are part of Brother to Brother who participated. Pizza was provided, and there was a presentation on what Brother to Brother is and their mission, as well as how the next semester would look like in terms of events. Sheldon Solis Manus, the student community leader of Brother to Brother, gave the presentation and described it as a club that one can join on campus, although all men of color are welcome. At the kickback after the presentation, they played some video games such as Smash and Mario Kart. If you missed this event, on November 9th, there will be another, with the location still to be determined. Coming up next.
Lead pipes in the city are getting replaced.
Republicans choose a new Speaker of the House.
And Inside the NBA comes to the Auraria campus.
We'll be right back after the break.
It's fine that other people like you. It's more important that you like yourself. And I'm comfortable with every part of me. Meals on Wheels coming to my door as someone who's housebound assures me that I'm not forgotten. They care that I'm okay. My name is Asha Ida Bell. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Stand on the edge of the train station platform. Drive around the boom, gets at a level crossing. Run across the tracks between the platforms. They may not rhyme, but they're quite possibly dumbest ways to die.
There's a million dumb ways to die. Don't let it be around buses and trains. Be safe around buses and trains. A message from RTD.
So many dumb ways to die.
Welcome back from the break. A Colorado government worker recently submitted a plea deal for espionage in connection with a year-old arrest for an attempt to sell intel to Russia. Mr. Jara Dalkey, an NSA employee operating out of Colorado Springs, was found at Union Station last September trying to smuggle a personal computer containing top-secret information, including military insights about the United States and another country that was not named in the case, to Russia. Dalkey not only succeeded in transferring the classified files to the Russian government, but expressed sympathies to them and a desire to continue working together in the future. Though the defendant had not worked at the NSA for more than a few weeks, he had access to many files which the government considers of the highest importance, and the prosecution has recommended a prison sentence of more than 20 years.
A horror-themed shop in Denver is picking up steam this October, and fans of everything spooky may want to check it out. Horrid is a local shop in Denver owned and operated by Emerald Bose, an alumnus of MSU Denver. After experiencing a tragic loss, Emerald was urged to turn her pain into art. She started up Horrid magazine after graduating from MSU with a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Photography. That magazine quickly turned into opening the shop itself, which sells horror-themed items such as pins, soaps, earrings, and so much more. The shop, located on Broadway and South Tacoma Street, welcomes everyone who comes by with open arms and encourages them to be their true selves. Bose is also supporting local artists with her shop by obtaining most of the store's inventory from women and queer-owned businesses. She says that community is an important aspect of horror, stating that what's so beautiful about the horror community is that it's about healing and the duality inside of us. Thousands of residents in the city of Denver are affected by lead pipes that carry water into their homes.
While temporary solutions have been in place, in 2020, Denver Water began the project of replacing the pipes. I got more on the story. Regulations over the quality of drinking water have been increasing since the second half of the 20th century. Lead was banned from consumer paint in the 1970s, from gasoline in the 1990s, and has been the subject of continuous monitoring in water supplies. In Denver County, houses and properties built before 1951 are at the highest risk of lead pipe contamination. Denver Water estimates that between 64,000 and 84,000 properties in the city are at risk of lead pipe contamination. While strides have been made to keep the public safe, dangers are still present. Drinking water contaminated by lead can affect the brain and other soft tissue organs in the body. I spoke with Jimmy Luthi, a public information officer at Denver Water, to learn more about how the city is combating this issue.
Because property owners and not Denver Water actually own those service lines, the information on what water service lines are made of is a bit inconsistent and scattered among a variety of sources. So Denver Water has been working to develop a comprehensive inventory and then using water quality tests, visual inspections. So it's looking at all of these different ways to investigate and to find the sources of lead in our service area, because, as I mentioned, Denver Water does not own the lead service lines that lead from the water main to the customer's home.
Denver Water assures that the water they supply to customers is uncontaminated by lead, but service lines themselves can contain it. Given the wide role water plays in our lives, I asked Jimmy if there are any dangers outside of direct consumption, whether in showering, washing produce, or brushing teeth.
It is considered safe to use unfiltered water when bathing, showering, watering plants, garden vegetables, and rinsing food prior to eating. Human skin doesn't absorb lead in water at levels that would cause any sort of health concerns. We do encourage folks to avoid swallowing large amounts of water when brushing teeth with unfiltered water and that sort of thing, because that's really ingesting the water is where the concern comes in.
And while residents keep themselves safe, Denver Water is in the process of replacing the lead service lines, with the project scheduled to complete in 2035. And with so many homes affected, I asked if renting companies are required to notify prospective tenants of a lead pipe risk in their homes.
The short answer is no. Leasing companies, property managers, even when going to purchase a property, there are no actual requirements in place for disclosing that information. If you live in an older home, if you've recently moved in and you're not sure about how old your home is, or if you might be a part of this program and you haven't heard anything from a landlord or a property manager and you're concerned at all, go to denverwater.org/lead or send us an email at lead@denverwater.org, and we'll be happy to help alleviate those concerns, get you all the information you need, and if you don't have a filter yet, to send you a filter just so that you can start filtering your water and keeping everybody in your home safe.
For the MetReport, I'm Alex Petrich. This Wednesday brought a tragedy that sent waves throughout the nation after a shooter in Lewiston, Maine killed 18 people. The person of interest, who has been identified as 40-year-old Robert Card, carried out a pair of shootings in the city, one being at 7 o'clock Eastern Time in a bowling alley and another in a bar on the other side of town just a few minutes later. Photos released later that night showed Card with an AR-15, and police have stated that he was a veteran who had been previously committed to a mental institution. Maine, which does not require a permit to carry a gun in public, has issued an emergency order for the county in which the shooting took place and in the surrounding area. Despite having photos of the incident in a vehicle identified with the suspect, Robert Card is still at large as of Thursday afternoon. MSU and University of Denver students competed and created certain programs and apps in their first ever hackathon.
We have our reporter Tyson Sintas here that went and saw some of these programs. Tyson, how is everything over there?
Thank you, Anissa. Thank you, Alex. Over the weekend, I traveled down to the University of Denver and learned about what programs and codes some students made for roughly around 30 hours. Let's take a look. I'm over here at the Engineering and Science Building here in the University of Denver to learn about MSU's and DU's hackathon, where students of both universities create code to help improve campus life. Students in MSU, DU, as well as CU Denver grouped up in several different teams to create different apps and programs around the theme of the event. Build something that will enhance your campus or school campuses in general. Students in each university split up into several different teams, making these groups a mix of different campuses. Each team competed a variety of different projects, such as a more efficient way of making student clubs or an effective way to display campus events.
So the idea is MSU kind of has this structure where there's not really a lot of community building. So we worked on the challenges of that and trying to make something that we could build from the ground up.
The theme was enhancing campus life, and the app itself gives students, it empowers students in their ability to create clubs on campus. Faculty will also have an ability to sign on to this app. A faculty can see, hey, this app has traction, it has the minimum number of people required. I would like to make this an official club. They press one button, boom, it's a club.
The event held a competition that teams competed for an arrangement of trophies. The top 3 projects won trophies, projects to display on their resumes, as well as bragging rights. Students in MSU do not have a whole lot of opportunities to make projects like these that would be made to build up their resumes compared to students in DU. So MSU teamed up with DU to bring students to the hackathon to have an opportunity to create these programs. Although some students stayed awake working for nearly 30 hours, there still was not enough time for a lot of these programs to be completely functional and polished.
The way that we have it set up now, it works better with certain resolutions than others, just the way that the HTML is set up, as well as we didn't get to implement an RSVP.
Yeah, so we wish we had more time because we're just running into technical difficulties. That's the moral story.
In the end, there was a tie between 2 teams that won first place.
So in first place, we have You Connect and You Gather.
Students in this event created several applications that fit into the theme of the improving campus life. There may be potential for more hackathons in the future that will feature students from not only DU, but also MSU, as well as potential for more campuses to join in. Over at the University of Denver, I'm Tyson Sintas with the MetReport.
Well, it's almost Halloween, and I wonder what the weather will be looking like for trick-or-treaters this year. It's starting to get a little chillier outside, don't you think?
Yeah, it definitely is starting to feel like fall out there.
I've been hearing that there might even be some snow coming our way.
Let's find out. The MetReport very own Fabrizio Escalona is giving us the weather forecast for this week.
What can I say? It's Halloween weekend. Hello, everyone. This is Fabrizio Escalona reporting the latest on weather in the Denver metropolitan area. Today is gonna be so cool. Don't be fooled by the costume. Today temperatures is gonna be at minimum or 31 degrees Fahrenheit as a maximum 54 starting at noon. But however, during the weekend, it's going to be worse with snow falling, with temperatures that among or 31 degrees Fahrenheit as a maximum and 19 as a minimum. So I strongly recommend to spend Halloween in a single house, just being among friends, eating a couple candies and poking cakes, because outside these costumes are going to freeze. So thank you, everyone. That's going to be all for this weekend about the weather.
Thank you, Fabrizio.
Don't let the cold weather dampen your spirits. Stay tuned because right after the break, we'll be diving into the world of politics with Tyson Sintas.
Thank you for sticking around. I'm Tyson Sintas, here to bring you the latest updates in the world of politics. To start off today's segment, Colorado's abortion ban, the first in the nation, faced legal challenges after Bella Health, a Catholic healthcare clinic in Inglewood, filed a lawsuit to block it earlier this year. Advocates argue the law unfairly singles out religious clinics, such as Bella Health, which sees abortion pill reversal as a religious duty. In a crucial ruling, Federal District Court Judge Daniel D. Domenico declared that Colorado's law violates First Amendment principles by impeding religious exercise and targeting religious activity. This decision allows Bella Health and other religious clinics to continue offering the procedure. The procedure involves administering progesterone to counteract the effects of the initial abortion pill. Judge Domenico also emphasized that the state cannot enforce provisions branding abortion pill reversal as unprofessional conduct. Colorado now has a 30-day window to appeal the preliminary injunction. As part of Mayor Mike Johnson's $242 million budget for affordable housing, the government plans to create an affordable, safe, sustainable, and vibrant city with opening of more shelter rooms and houses. City Council is currently considering programs that help to cut down on both short and long-term homelessness by opening close to 500 shelter rooms to provide rental assistance for those moving from shelter to permanent housing. Additionally, the Johnson administration is set to buy a former DoubleTree hotel for close to $40 million in order to provide shelter for Denver's homeless population. Johnson also hopes to house and support 1,000 people by the end of 2023. These new facilities would provide shelter, emergency cold shelter, weather space, conference rooms, as well as laundry and kitchen facilities, in hopes to increase job access and provide other aid. While state representatives are preparing for the next legislative session, the National Conference of State Legislatures hosted a policy seminar on maternal health and infant mortality. Our reporter Miah and Ntepp covered the event.
I'm outside the Denver-based National Conference of State Legislators, where they're having an infant mortality seminar. This is where stakeholders and organizations, as well as politicians and community leaders, have come together to discuss the issue of infant mortality. I was able to sit in on the seminar and see what's going on. This convening is designed to bring together leaders from Colorado in the maternal and child health field to better understand current maternal morbidity and mortality trends nationally and in the state.
And our cries in saying the Black community is very intentional on this, and we have found policymakers that are willing to pull the levers, but we need your help and your support. And so what does that mean for us? That means when we ask our community members and we ask them how they've talked to their physicians or midwives or doulas, have they said, we do know that you feel pain. We do know those things, instead of hearing back that we're asked all those stereotypical types of things. So part of the policy piece for me, as much as I would love to legislate hearts and minds, how do we put on the table of those affirmative actions?
We're able to convene together thought leaders to talk about maternal health in the state of Colorado. We saw data that shows that 82% of maternal deaths were preventable.
I was also able to get an interview with Senator Buckner.
We are driven to make sure that no more women die unnecessarily during childbirth or after childbirth. We have the resources. We need to make this topic, we need to elevate this topic and make sure that we're learning as much as we can about maternal mortality.
California. And one of the ways they've been able to tackle a couple of the things that we're talking about being data transparency, data for improvement and for learning, and then implementing clinical.
The search for a new Speaker of the House was finally ended, with Republican Mike Johnson of Louisiana being voted into office this week. It was more than 3 weeks ago when California Congressman Kevin McCarthy was removed from office in a historic motion, which had been spearheaded by radical factions within the GOP. As a majority party in the House, it has been up to Republicans to find a replacement that can meet the 217 vote threshold, and the process has resulted in failed nominees Steve Scalise, Jim Jordan, and Tom Emmer. On Wednesday, Johnson received 220 votes, just one short of the whole Republican caucus due to absences, and beat Democratic nominee Hakeem Jeffries for the position. He is considered to be more conservative than McCarthy and has identified himself as a close ally of former President Trump, having supported the conspiracy theory that the 2020 election was rigged for Joe Biden. That's all for the latest news in the world of politics. Be sure to stick around because after the break, Cecilia Perez-Najera is giving us an update on all things sports. We'll be right back.
At Metropolitan State University at Denver, our mission is to provide high-quality, accessible education that prepares our students for successful careers postgraduate education, and lifelong learning in a global and technological society. Our values of diversity, access, and community help us provide opportunities for our students from all over the globe. In fact, we've just been named a diversity champion by Insight into Diversity magazine for 2016. Because at MSU Denver, we believe in transforming lives.
Why are you reading that trash? Read the Metrosphere.
Metrosphere is a magazine that highlights art, literature, and culture on the Rayer campus and the surrounding Denver area, created by journalism students while featuring work from English, art, journalism, and design students.
Who are you talking to?
Ballerina.
Sometimes all it takes to be a dad is remembering how to be a kid again. Take time to be a dad today.
Biker Jim's brother.
Hello and welcome back to the MetReport Sports. I'm Cecilia Perez-Najera, here to bring you the newest updates and highlights from the world of sports. From thrilling matches to record-breaking performances, we've got it all covered. Speaking of record-breaking performances, the Colorado Avalanche looked dominant to kickstart their 2023-2024 campaign, making history and breaking records, solidifying the team as a dominant force in the league. The Avs have set an NHL record with 15 consecutive regular season road wins, including the finals 11 road victory last season. And of course, their 6-0 start this season. This consistency on the road accumulated in a hard-fought 7-4 win on Tuesday against the New York Islanders, marking 15 straightaway from home. This team topped the previous mark of 14 set by the Sabres in 2005 to 2006 and 2006 to 2007 season, not to mention matching the 2013-2014 Avs with the best start in the franchise history. The Avalanche have exhibited exceptional teamwork and depth, racking up goals and assists while displaying remarkable chemistry, led by their star-studded cast. The Avs were handed their first loss last night after a 4-0 shutout in Pittsburgh, putting an end to their run. But they look to bounce back this Sunday in Buffalo and get back to making history. In this week's edition of Rowdy's Rundown, Brandi and I got the opportunity to check out the MSU men's basketball tip-off for this season.
What's up, guys? I'm Brandi, and we're out here today checking out some Roadrunners basketball, where the men's team hosted their red and blue scrimmage, followed by a three-point contest and even a dunk contest, all being wrapped up by this really cool luncheon where we got the opportunity to talk with players and coaches and ask them about their season expectations. Let's go check it out.
Basketball season is right around the corner, and to tip off the season, the Roadrunners hosted their annual red and blue scrimmage, giving fans a glimpse of the potential that lies ahead. This game offered an opportunity for the team to fine-tune their skills and for coaches to evaluate the talent on their roster.
You know, for us, last year was a learning experience from top to bottom, coaches, players, managers, of what it takes to win in this league. And so now with those guys being a year older, having another off season to develop, we're just looking to build on that experience. And now everyone's better. We brought in more talent. I think we're deeper, and guys that buy into what we're trying to do. So I think that experience, the adversity we faced last year, has motivated us to really take the next step forward.
With the return of RMAC Co-Freshman of the Year, Braden Maldonado, and all RMAC honorable mention forward Caleb McGill, the Roadrunners have been picked to finish 6th in the RMAC Conference. And during their scrimmage, the Roadrunners certainly lived up to the hype. An electric, fast-paced showcase of skill displayed the team's depth and versatility that left fans excited for the new season.
This year, I'm really just expecting to pick up where I left off, as well as the team. I expect a lot more wins this year. I mean, the awards are cool and all, but I'm really trying to win a lot more games, and I'm trying to get into that tournament, not being the 8th seed this year. I want to host some games here. And I want to get in the NCAA tournament. So, I mean, the single awards, the individuals are cool, but I'm more worried about our team wins this year for sure.
But the fun doesn't stop there. The three-point contest hosted by the team featured some of the best sharpshooters, with guard Brayden Maldonado ultimately dominating and defeating his teammates. The dunk contest featured some jaw-dropping aerial displays, and forward Blake Hadley took home the dub with some creative dunks.
At the luncheon following these electrifying events, former St. John's head coach and current ESPN commentator Fran Fraschilla spoke with MSU fans, providing his experience and expertise. If you missed this event, fear not. The Roadrunners will be playing exhibition games tonight, October 27th at Wyoming and October 28th at Boulder, before opening the season on November 19th against Arkansas's Fort Smith in Spearfish, South Dakota. I hope you guys enjoyed this inside look into MSU Denver basketball. Make sure you don't miss out because we're going to be following this team all season long. Last week, 19-year NBA veteran Andre Iguodala retired. After spending the first 8 years of his career in Philadelphia, Iguodala was traded to the Denver Nuggets in 2012 and helped the team to a franchise record 57-win season. He then signed with Golden State Warriors in 2014, cementing his legacy as one of the greatest role players in NBA history, winning 4 titles and being named the 2015 Finals MVP. Iguodala was the oldest player in the NBA at the time of his retirement and will be eligible for the Basketball Hall of Fame in 2027. Inside the NBA took a road trip down to Denver where the famous Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Charles Barkley, and Kenney the Jet Smith went live on the Aurora campus. Our reporter Anissa went to the event and got all the facts for us.
What's up, guys? It's Anissa Mohdreza, and I'm here at the Aurora campus where tonight the Nuggets will get their bling on. Let's see what's going around campus.
The Inside the NBA broadcast was out on our quad, and while some were in awe of the show, others were able to play some basketball, rush the arcade stalls, and get some free merch. Of course, many food trucks were out and about as well throughout the night. We asked a few students attending the event how they were feeling and if they were a Nuggets or Lakers fan.
What are you most excited to see here today?
Well, I'm just checking it out and then checking out the festivities, and I'm going for the Nuggets. And I say go Nuggets, stomp them Lakers, and send them packing.
The game and the experience for real. Yeah.
Who are you going for?
Us for sure, Denver.
Shaq.
Yeah. Shaq.
You guys, who are you going for?
Nuggets.
The Nuggets.
All right, what do you think the ending score will be?
I give a good 100 to maybe 70.
Okay.
I don't know much about sports, but they're gonna win.
As you should. Me too. I just say numbers. Hope for the best. Hello, guys. What are you guys most excited to see here today?
Mostly Shaq.
Yeah, I'm here for Shaq, man.
What they said.
Yeah, what do you guys think the ending score is tonight? And who are you guys going for?
Definitely the Denver Nuggets. I think probably gonna win by 13. Probably get around 124 points. So I don't know what that.
Yeah, I've got Nuggets by like he's at least 10 or 15. Gonna make the statement tonight. We're going back to back this year.
I'm gonna have to go Lakers by 10.
Whoa, controversial. Why Lakers?
Die-hard Lakers fan since day one.
Okay, respect. Thank you guys so much.
It would not be an Inside the NBA show without some of the top basketball legends who everyone was so excited to see, as well as an appearance from the NBA commissioner who was put on the hot seat and given some burning questions. The night ended with a performance by the Chainsmokers, who are Colorado natives, so obviously they put on a rager for the crowd, playing their top hits as well as remixing other popular songs with their own.
Big shout out to TNT for hosting Inside the NBA here at Aurora campus, and good luck to the Denver Nuggets on their journey. For the MetReport, I'm Anissa Mohdreza.
As you can see, basketball season is back in Denver, and this season our home opener was one to remember. As everyone knows, the Denver Nuggets are the 2023 NBA champions, and they came out absolutely on fire in their home opening game on Tuesday night. Although the rings and the banner were nice, What was even better was the Nuggets starting off the season with a 119-107 dub against the Los Angeles Lakers, with championship MVP Nikola Jokic scoring 29 points, and with his wingman Murray adding in 21. LeBron did do his thing for the Lakers by scoring 21 points in 29 minutes. Through the rest of the starters for LA also scored double figures but fell short to the reigning champions. We wish good luck to the Denver Nuggets as they take on Memphis tonight. In an unexpected turn of events, the Broncos took home their second dub of the season and the first at home. Last Sunday, the Broncos went up against the Green Bay Packers and finishing the game with a 19-17 win. The Broncos were looking at an easy victory during their first half of the game with a score of 9-0. However, during the third quarter, the Packers came back and gained 10 points. The Broncos were on track for another second half downfall. However, backup safety PJ Locke, who subbed in for Kareem Jackson, prevented what would be a disappointing loss. The Broncos will have another home game against the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday. Will they keep up their winning streak, or will the Broncos once again fall to the reigning champions? That's all I have for you this week. Thank you so much for joining me on this week's edition of the MetReport Sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
All right, thanks, Cece.
So, what are you doing for Halloween?
Probably not much. Just as I get older, it gets kind of less interesting. I'm probably just going to go see my girlfriend, hand out candy to trick-or-treaters. What about you?
Beautiful. I don't know. I have a few Lego kits I need to build. So, heard there was a Lego city that needs to be rebuilt. So I guess I'll do that.
Oh dear, nice.
Yeah. Well, that's all we have for you today.
Be sure to check out more of our content at mymetmedia.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Make sure to subscribe on our YouTube channel to stay up to date with our weekly broadcast.
From all of us at the Met Report, thank you for joining us. I'm Alex Petrich.
And I'm Anissa Mohdreza.